Good Saturday evening to you, wrestling fans. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. World Championship Wrestling is on the air. I'm Josh. I'll be with you for the next 1 hour and 20 minutes.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Jim Corey Webb. And from West Palm Beach, Florida, weighing in at 224 pounds, Sweet Stan Lane.
One half of the Midnight Express, Sweet Stan Lane, to take on one half of the U.S. Tag Team Champions, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, in our opening match. If you missed the announcement last week, the match has been signed for Clash of the Champions 5-Fall Brawl next Saturday night. The Midnight Express will challenge the U.S. Tag Team Champions Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert for the titles. What a night that's going to be, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time next week. But right now, this week, we have a television title match in our main event. The champion, Dusty Rhodes, will put the title on the line against the Clawmaster, Baron von Raschke, a top contender here in World Championship Wrestling.
And his opponent, accompanied by Sting, and from Tennessee, weighing in at 220 pounds, one half of the champions, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Missy Hyatt follows two of her members of Hot Stuff International to the ring. Sting, of course, the U.S. champion. And fans, a match has been signed for next week as well. Sting will put that title on the line in a rematch against Barry Windham. On tonight's card, wrestling fans, we will see Sam Houston and Ron Simmons team together once again. They will take on Larry Zbyszko and a mystery partner. Medusa, however, is not in the building this evening. She missed her flight. And so Larry Zbyszko will not have her managerial experience in his corner this evening. Our referee for tonight's match is referee Bill Scott. Eddie Gilbert grabs the hair of Sweet Stan Lane, winds up and socks him right in the mouth. Jim Cornette looking on. Gilbert now cranking the neck. 10-minute time limit in this matchup. And Gilbert bouncing the head of Stan Lane off the mat. Also Ron Garvin, he's in action here tonight, but he is taking on a debuting wrestler here in World Championship Wrestling. We'll talk about that a little later on. Also tonight, Ricky Morton, one half of the World Tag Team Champions, will face Wild Bill Irwin, one half of the Long Riders. The Long Riders will get a shot at the tag team titles next week. Good kick there by Sweet Stan. Stomps the lower back and slams the wrist against the mat. Also tonight, Brad Armstrong will team with Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, as they take on the Powers of Pain, Barbarian and Warlord, two members of Paul Jones's army. Lane whips Gilbert into the buckle. Double axe handle right in the back. And now puts the man up on the middle rope. Stan Lane. He's going to apply a vicious neck breaker. Jim Cornette cheering his man on with the fist pump. Cover. 1, 2. And a near fall here early on. Eddie Gilbert just kicked out. Stan Lane thought it was 3. So a great night of action coming your way this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stan Lane picks him up. Big right hand there by Gilbert. Front face lock. Scoops him up. Beautiful scoop slam by Eddie Gilbert, and Stan Lane rolls out to the apron. What's Gilbert doing here? He is climbing to the top rope. Stan Lane on the apron. Interesting maneuver there, and I think Gilbert landed badly. But Gilbert going up top once more. Another high-risk move. Flying elbow drop. Caught Stan Lane right in the throat. Sting coming over. And Gilbert again going up top. He is a high flyer. Fans standing, the sold-out crowd watching on. High crossbody, but Gilbert could not hold him down for a cover. And now Jim Cornette's up on the apron yelling at Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert comes over. Big right hand. He just floored the manager. And now Gilbert from behind. Atomic drop. Cover. Hooks the leg. A quick kick out by Sweet Stan Lane. And Eddie Gilbert yelling something at Jim Cornette. Gilbert going out to the floor. A left there by Gilbert. He socked Jim Cornette right in the jaw. And now Stan Lane throws Gilbert into the corner. Beautiful kick there. Sweeping kick to the lower back. And Jim Cornette just threw a chair into the ring. Gilbert with a body slam as Stan Lane was contemplating using that chair. He will be disqualified if he does so. Bill Scott yelling at Jim Cornette. Good backbreaker by Sweet Stan. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1. A 1 count only. Lane with a knee right between the shoulder blades. Now stomps the bicep. Into the corner. Stan Lane again with those karate kicks. And referee Bill Scott just threw the chair out of the ring, thankfully. What was Lane doing there? I think he was talking to Jim Cornette, his manager. And that allowed Eddie Gilbert, that temporary distraction allowed Gilbert to get the upper hand. Lane gets free. Beautiful kick to the ribs. Nice elbow over to the side of the head. Double throat thrust into the corner. What a clothesline. Down goes Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Lane now taking it to Hot Stuff. Face first into the mat goes Gilbert. And Stan Lane in control of this matchup. Stomps the arm. Lane going up top. Whip for the elbow. Nobody home. Gilbert moved out of the way. Gilbert did not expect Stan Lane to get to his feet so quickly. Wasted a lot of time, and Lane made him pay for it. Slams the wrist against the mat. And for the second time, trying to shatter the bones. Drags him to the middle of the ring. High knee lift right to the forehead, and that busted open Eddie Gilbert. The blood pouring from the forehead. Cover, middle of the ring. Hooks the leg. 1. A 1 count. Gilbert able to kick out. Strong kick right to the neck. And Stan Lane digging at the eyes. Gilbert rolls out to the floor. He needs a timeout. He's yelling at Jim Cornette. He just knocked him over. And now Gilbert takes it to Stan Lane. Throws Lane hard into the apron. Jim Cornette's up quickly. And Gilbert going up top. Here comes Jim Cornette over. Look out, Eddie. Off the top. High cross body. That was a high-risk move indeed. But it paid off for Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Big right hand onto Cornette. Cornette shaking it off. Gilbert back in the ring. Again, taunting Sweet Stan Lane. He's going for the pile driver. Has him up. He rocked him. Here comes Jim Cornette up on the apron. Gilbert's ready for him. What a right hand. And a cover by Gilbert. Wraps up the leg. Can he hold him down for the 3 count? Yes, he can. Impressive victory by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert over Sweet Stan Lane here this evening in our opening bout on World Championship Wrestling. Let's look back at the action. Beautiful neck breaker early on by Sweet Stan, followed up by the atomic drop by Eddie Gilbert, and a backbreaker by Sweet Stan. A very physical match, but Gilbert prevails with the pile driver. Let's go down and get the official word.
Here is your winner, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Don't touch that dial, wrestling fans. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time now for tag team action.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brad Armstrong.
Brad Armstrong will team with the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez to take on the Barbarian and Warlord, number 1 Paul Jones's group known as the Powers of Pain.
And his partner, from El Paso, Texas, weighing in at 275 pounds, Manny Fernandez.
Here is a list of the matches signed already for next week at the Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. It will be the living legend Larry Zbyszko taking on Sam Houston in a grudge match. U.S. Tag Team Champions Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner to face the number 1 contenders, the Midnight Express, Sweet Stan Lane and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. U.S. Champion Sting will take on Barry Windham for the title. World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, will take on the Long Riders, Wild Bill Irwin and Black Bart. And of course, World Champion Magnum TA will tangle with Tully Blanchard with the title on the line. That is 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday night.
And their opponents, accompanied by Paul Jones, and at a combined weight of 621 pounds, the Barbarian and Warlord, the Powers of Pain.
We will get a preview of 2 of those matches here this evening, as Ricky Morton takes on Wild Bill Irwin next in singles action. Robert Gibson not in the building, I'm told. I do not know if Black Bart is here. And yes, I'm being told that Black Bart is in the building, and he's expected to be at ringside. Referee calls for the bell. 20-minute time limit in this one. Collar and elbow tie-up, and Brad Armstrong backs Barbarian into the corner. Will we get a clean break? Bill Scott gonna separate the men. A cheap shot there by the Barbarian, and not surprising. Armstrong grabs Barbarian. Big elbows right to the midsection by the Barbarian. Front face lock. Great neck breaker. And Brad Armstrong rolls out to the floor. Look out, he is in no man's land. He is in the wrong corner. Paul Jones just threw him back in like a lumberjack. Double axe handle. And the Barbarian pumped up this evening. Whips him into the corner. Tag made to the awesome Warlord. Both men, tremendous specimens. Double backdrop there by the Warlord, and Barbarian had the man up in the lights. Cover 1. Gets a 1 count. Armstrong kicks out. Head scissors. And Warlord driving the elbow to the top of the head. Picks up Armstrong. Fall away slam. And Armstrong makes the tag to Manny Fernandez. I don't think Warlord's aware of it. Beautiful drop kick there by the Raging Bull. Warlord had his back turned when the tag was made. And now the Raging Bull unloading on the Warlord. Into the corner. Charge again. Vicious clothesline. And there's number 1 Paul Jones up on the apron, distracting Manny Fernandez. And it works, because Warlord just cleaned his clock with that clothesline. And the Barbarian tagged in, takes down the Raging Bull. And Barbarian deadlifting Manny Fernandez. Spins him over and slams him down. And the Barbarian trying to force Fernandez to submit early on in the contest. Manny slips free. What a headbutt, he rocked Fernandez. But Manny with a punch to the midsection. And we temporarily lost our audio. It is restored. Good high crossbody. Into the corner. Another tag to the Warlord. Another double team coming up. Great double team by the Powers of Pain. And they are looking very impressive in this contest. Cover. That might be all. Armstrong makes the save. Barbarian. He slipped right past the Barbarian. And got to the Warlord. Warlord spins him around. German suplex. He rocked him. Warlord taunting Fernandez. Belly to back suplex. Cover. Leg hooked. One. A 1 count only. Tag made to the Barbarian. Warlord, or Barbarian, excuse me, with a fall away slam, driving Fernandez to the mat. Throws him into the corner. What a kick there by Fernandez. And it's Manny throwing Barbarian over the top rope. A temporary distraction so he can make the tag, and Brad Armstrong now in there. The fresh man tagged in. Don't forget, Wednesday, October the 1st, we will begin the Lethal Lottery, and tonight we're going to show the names of the 60 wrestlers who will be part of that big event. There will be a match per day, every weekday. On Saturday, we'll have our regularly scheduled program and nothing on Sunday. But we'll have 15 weekdays. The first 15 weekdays of October will feature one match each day from the Lethal Lottery. Armstrong trying to force Barbarian to submit. Barbarian slips free. It is part of the Halloween Havoc Tour, kicking off on Wednesday, October the 1st. Shoulder claw here by the Barbarian, and we have 15 minutes left in the time limit. Armstrong with the right hand. Nice maneuver there by Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong has fared very well as of late in singles action. The Powers of Pain wanted opponents this evening, and Brad Armstrong and Manny Fernandez quick to sign on the dotted line. Armstrong might be regretting it right now, however, as Brad Armstrong's taken up into the air and powerbombed to the mat by the awesome Barbarian. 2, and Manny Fernandez gets in there to make the save. Referee orders Warlord out of the ring. Leaping elbow drop by the Barbarian, pounding the chest. Another leaping elbow drop. Trying to make Armstrong quit right here. If you missed the announcement earlier, Larry Zbyszko says he has a mystery partner. Cheap shot there by the Warlord. And he'll be teaming up with Zbyszko to take on Sam Houston and Ron Simmons. Warlord from behind, waistlock. Good suplex there by the Warlord. Covered by the Barbarian. And Armstrong kicks out. Referee Bill Scott said he was in the ropes anyway. And the Warlord being warned to get out of the ring. He has until the count of 5 or he'll be disqualified. And he does exit the ring and returns to his corner. Another double team coming up. We've seen it a lot here from the Powers of Pain. Devastating move. He tossed him like a rag doll. And now the Warlord looking for the camel clutch, trying to force Brad to cry uncle. He is really wrenching back on the jaws of Brad Armstrong. Armstrong trips him up, and Brad desperately needs to make the tag. Snap there by Armstrong. Drives the head down. Look out for the Barbarian. Cheap shot from behind. He punched him in the back of the head. A reverse suplex onto the floor. And the Warlord climbing to the top rope. They're going to double him up here, it looks like. Barbarian picks him up. Gut wrench suplex on that hard floor. And the Warlord just perched on the top rope. Military press by the Barbarian. He is working him over. And the Warlord now going back up top after repositioning. Flying knee drop across the chest. And that will restart the 10 count. He throws Armstrong back in the ring. And the Warlord looking for the camel clutch again. They want the submission victory this evening. As I mentioned, Ricky Morton taking on Wild Bill Irwin. That match comes up next. Then we will see Ron Garvin taking on a debuting wrestler here in WCW. Monkey flip by Brad Armstrong. And again, Armstrong not going for the tag. Nice move there by Brad. Now Brad picks up Warlord. Good shoulder tackle. Took the large man down. And Paul Jones now up on the apron. The Warlord grabs Brad Armstrong. Vicious headbutt. A cheap shot there from the Barbarian. And now the Warlord crawling over. Might make the cover. He's to his feet. Picks up Barbarian. He was rocked by that shot from the Barbarian. Picks up Brad Armstrong, I should say. Armstrong was hit by that right hand, or that headbutt rather, from Barbarian. I'm really with it, fans. Just trust me. Good maneuver there by the Warlord. Cover, leg hooked. One. And Manny Fernandez inadvertently hit the referee. We've got no referee. And there's the Warlord going out to the floor. He's looking for a weapon. He has found a steel chair. He just plastered Manny Fernandez with it. Fans booing. He's got the chair. But Bill Scott has been revived. Good chop there by Armstrong. Knocks the chair out of the hands of the Warlord. If he had used it. And there it is. On the chair it looked like. Perhaps not. I think he actually missed the chair. And there's Bill Scott getting rid of it. Brad Armstrong measuring the Warlord. Here comes the Barbarian in. He's going for the Russian leg sweep. That's his move. He just hit the Warlord with it. Cover. Wraps up the leg. This is all. But there's the Barbarian right there to make the save. And he grabs Armstrong, hoisted him up in that beautiful suplex. But he is not the legal man. He just knocked Manny Fernandez off the apron. And the Barbarian off the top rope. Flying elbow drop. Armstrong first man to his feet of the legal men. Less than 9 minutes remain in the time limit. And the Warlord now in trouble. Armstrong trying to get him over. Yes, sunset flip. But the Barbarian's waiting right for him. The Barbarian drives him to the mat. A lot of double teaming from the Powers of Pain. And the Warlord whips him into the corner. Tag made to the Barbarian. Another double team coming up. Assisted power slam. And the Barbarian wraps him up. Hooks the leg. Referee Bill Scott slow to get into position. 2. And that's all she wrote. Impressive victory by the Powers of Pain this evening. Albeit it involved a lot of double teaming. And number 1, Paul Jones must be happy that his men are going to the pay window with him. Brad Armstrong gave it his all, but falls short here this evening.
Here are your winners, the Barbarian and Warlord, the Powers of Pain.
Don't go anywhere, wrestling fans. There's more great action coming up next. Welcome back to the ring, wrestling fans. Ricky Morton to take on Wild Bill Irwin in singles action. And Black Bart will indeed accompany Irwin to the ring.
Is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Black Texas, weighing in at 250 pounds, Bill Irwin.
Very controversial finish to last week's match between Ricky Morton and Black Bart. Morton had Bart covered for the pin. However, Bart grabbed the bottom rope at the count of 2. Referee Bill Scott did not see it. Counted Bart's shoulders down for the 3 count, and Ricky Morton escaped with a victory. I'm sure Black Bart has not forgotten that. That is why he is in the corner of Wild Bill this evening.
And his opponent from Nashville, Tennessee, weighing in at 235 pounds, one half of the Ricky Morton.
This could very well be an opportunity for the Long Riders to weaken, to soften up Ricky Morton 1 week before the big World Tag Team title match, especially since Robert Gibson is not in the building this evening. You will not want to miss Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl next Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. A 10-minute time limit in this one. Wild Bill charging in, a knee to the midsection just ran Morton over. And now Wild Bill clawing the eyes of one half of the World Tag Team Champions. Swift kick there by Wild Bill. And Bill putting those cowboy boots to Ricky Morton. Black Bart looking on, look out for him. He could play a big role in this matchup. Thunderous clothesline by Wild Bill takes down Morton, picks him up. Morton with a kick to the midsection. And now a drop toe hold. Beautiful maneuver. Devastating neckbreaker. And the fans here in Atlanta clearly behind Ricky Morton. Snapmare. Snaps the head down. Beautiful move by Ricky. Going up top. High risk move. Wild Bill's a long way away, and he falls short. Morton he misjudged it. He misjudged the distance. And I think he lost his footing on the top rope also. That did not help matters. And now Wild Bill in control. Irwin turns him over. Morton might be out here. He might have been knocked out. One. No, he is not. He kicked out. Punch to the midsection. Wild Bill picks him up. Drops him stomach first over the knee. Big scoop slam. Irwin off the ropes. Corkscrew elbow. And now it's Wild Bill applying the arm bar. Driving Morton to the mat. Wild Bill gonna tie up the legs. Seesawing Ricky Morton now. Morton able to kick free, but he grabs the knee. And now grabs the leg of Irwin. Good dragon screw takedown. And now Ricky Morton from behind. Elbow to the chest, drives him to the mat. And now Morton going up top, high risk move. Flying knee drop. And Morton going for the cover. Wraps up the leg, 1, 2. A 2 count is all he gets. Last week we saw Irwin lose his first match in quite some time, losing to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Vicious chop there by Wild Bill. Bill has him up, slingshot suplex. Great execution. And a good neck breaker there by Wild Bill. Knee to the side, to the face. Wild Bill dragging him to the middle of the ring. Turns him over. He's getting pinned. A 1 count as Morton able to kick out. And now Morton goes to the outside. Look out for Black Bart over there. Watch your back, Ricky. Good move there by Morton. Snaps the throat across the top rope, and now Ricky steps inside. He's going to lock on the figure 4. Irwin's close to the rope. He just needs to grab that bottom rope, and instead he's going to fight his way free. Good escape there by the Cowboy. Good back elbow, takes down Morton. Morton trying to pull himself up. Irwin helps him up the hard way. Big punch right to the ribs. And a forearm shot blasted him right in the mouth. Takes him to the corner. Good block through it by Ricky. Head first goes Wild Bill into the top turnbuckle. And a knee off the ropes to the lower back. And Wild Bill, when he is in trouble once more. Swift elbow drop. Ricky. Great move there by Morton. Ricky has him up. Drives him down as we approach the 5-minute mark in this matchup. Beautiful backdrop by Wild Bill. Irwin now dragging Morton to the middle of the ring. Winds up and drives the elbow. He drove the elbow to the back of the head of Ricky. Going for the bear hug, middle of the ring. That's going to be all for Morton. I don't think he's getting out of this. He's trapped in the middle of the ring. Can Ricky fight free? He is trying desperately. The fans cheering for him on. Don't give up, Ricky. Can Ricky get out? Trying to elbow his way free. Still captured, but claps his ears, and he escapes the bear hug. Good, beautiful spinning elbow by Ricky Morton. And now Morton tying up Wild Bill. Trying to get a submission win from Wild Bill Irwin. Over Wild Bill Irwin, I should say. And Bill gets free. Good drop toe hold. Morton again working on the legs. Great impact. And Wild Bill now in trouble. Morton has fared fairly well in singles action. He is going for the figure four for the second time, and he locks it in. Wild Bill trying not to give up. Bill again pounding the kneecap. Now slaps the face of Ricky to break the hold. Into the corner. Spins him around. Puts him on the top rope. Draping the legs over. Wild Bill to the middle rope, looking for the superplex. He plants Ricky Morton with 3 minutes left in the time limit. Turns him over. Is this going to be it? Leg hooked. 2. And a near fall. Morton just got the shoulder up. Wild Bill has Morton up. Looking for the bear hug again, but Ricky does not want to get caught in that again. He fights free. He was fighting for dear life to escape that bear hug. Head scissors here by Morton, but Wild Bill turns him over and slips free. Wild Bill now grabs Morton. Takes him to the ropes. Slingshots him off. Great execution. What's Bill doing here? Grabs the arm. He's just putting the boost right to Ricky, right to the face. That cowboy boot right to the eye. And a good hammerlock here. Bending the fingers back of Ricky Morton. Double knee to the lower back. That was a devastating move considering the bear hug Morton was locked in earlier. Morton fighting back. There's a kick and a DDT. And Wild Bill's bleeding from the forehead. Morton made the quick cover, but Wild Bill was too close to the ropes, and the referee called for the break. 1.5 minutes remain in this time limit. Japanese arm drag off the middle rope. Cover. Leg hooked. 1. Can he hold him down? No, he can't. A 2 count is all he gets. Great contest here between these two top stars in World Championship Wrestling. And Morton looking for the submission victory as we approach the 1 minute warning. 1 minute left in the time limit. A knee to the midsection. Less than a minute to go. We might see a draw. Drapes the arm over the top rope. And Morton in a lot of trouble. Beautiful elbow there by Wild Bill. Might have knocked the man out. 1, 2. Can he hold him down? Yes, he can. I think Ricky Morton is out. This physical contest drained Ricky Morton. He is spent. And Wild Bill just scored a 3 count on one half of the tag team champions. If he can do it next week, we will have new champions crowned. Great physical matchup here, and Wild Bill avenges the loss of Black Bart last week in a hard-fought contest. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, Bill Irwin.
Great matchup here on World Championship Wrestling. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Hands of Stone, Ron Garvin to take on a debuting wrestler here. We're about to find out who that man is. It's Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
The following contest,
Paul Orndorff in World Championship Wrestling.
Making his way to the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing in at 275 pounds, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
This should be quite a matchup. Both men equally skilled. Similar wrestling styles. Great scientific wrestlers. Orndorff, the master of that pile driver. Ron Garvin, the master of the figure 4 leg lock. Fans stunned to see Paul Orndorff here in World Championship Wrestling.
And his opponent, accompanied by gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 242 pounds, Ron Garvin.
Hands of Stone, Ron Garvin brought back up in the forms of Precious and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. They will be in his corner this evening. Ron and Jimmy had their problems with the Long Riders at the Clash of the Champions. Impressive victory by Wild Bill and Black Bart. 10-minute time limit in this one. This should be a great matchup. Collar and elbow tie-up. Headlock here by Mr. Wonderful. Garvin backs him into the ropes. Shoots him off. High elevation on that backdrop. And Garvin going to the eyes. Picks him up. Atomic drop. Down goes Mr. Wonderful. Lateral press. But Paul Orndorff quick to kick out. They'll lock up again. Garvin backs Orndorff against the ropes. Will we see a clinging break between these two great wrestlers? And we do get it. They'll lock up again. Side headlock by Mr. Wonderful. Switches to the overhand wrist lock. And takes Garvin down. Good win there in the exchange by Mr. Wonderful. And Mr. Wonderful with a beautiful backdrop. Swift kick to the back. Breaking the neck of Ron Garvin. Drives him to the mat. Coming up next, fans, Sam Houston and Ron Simmons teaming up. They'll take on Larry Zbyszko and his mystery partner, Medusa. As I said earlier, Mr. Flight, she's not in Atlanta. She's not in the building, therefore. Cover here by Orndorff. A good kick out there by Ron Garvin. Beautiful elbow there by Orndorff. Solid punch to the breadbasket. And now Garvin, that knocked the wind out of Mr. Wonderful. Garvin looking for the suplex. Orndorff tried to block it. On the second effort, Garvin plays Paul Orndorff. Beautiful kick there. 8 minutes remain in the time limit. Garvin turns him over. Boston Crab trying to force a submission victory over Paul Orndorff. Orndorff has none of that. He uses the strong legs to power free. And look out, Paul Orndorff. You're in no man's land. He is in enemy territory right now. With Precious staring down at him. Orndorff back in the ring. Solid punch there to the breadbasket. Again, knocking the wind out of Mr. Wonderful. Spins him around. Has him up. Beautiful back suplex there by Ron Garvin. Lateral press. Paul Orndorff kicks out. Garvin now sizing him up. Double axe handle to the back of Mr. Wonderful, and for a second time. And now Garvin looking for another submission. Bill Scott checking in. Orndorff slips free. Into the corner goes Garvin. Charging in is Orndorff. Clothesline to the back of the head. Look out for Precious. She's looking on. He stomps the midsection. And now it's Garvin on the mat. Measures him. Drives the elbow to the forehead. Picks up Garvin, cranking the neck. Slams him down. It's Orndorff working over the leg of Ron Garvin. Trying to soften those legs up so Garvin cannot apply that figure four leg lock. Orndorff now unfastening the top turnbuckle to expose the steel. That steel buckle. He's going to take Garvin face first into that steel. He's going to try to bust him open here. 10 times into that steel. And Garvin's head is red. Not busted open, surprisingly. Garvin moves out of the way. Both men collide. Big body slam by Ron Garvin. And drives the elbow to the chest. Garvin's going to return the favor. Face first went Paul Orndorff into that exposed steel. And he might be out. Cover one. Orndorff with a quick kick out. Great matchup here on World Championship Wrestling. The nerve hold. The shoulder claw locked in with 5 minutes remaining in the time limit. Can Orndorff hold on? Yes, he sweeps the leg. Clubbing blow there by Mr. Wonderful. And again, look out. Dumps him up and over the top rope. Just tossed him over. And Orndorff trying to compose himself, recover. Right hand, look out. Jimmy Garvin coming over. Paul Orndorff just carrying Ron Garvin. Drops him back first over that steel barricade. And now the elbow to the right to the forehead. Really working over the forehead. Ron Garvin battling back. He just tossed Orndorff up and over. He's out with the crowd now. He might get counted out. Orndorff making his way back in. Look out for Jimmy. And Ron Garvin, I don't think he was aware that Orndorff was coming, and Precious warned him. Precious warned him, and he turned around in time. Great suplex there by Ron Garvin. The fans behind the man with the hands of stone. Abdominal stretch here applied. Orndorff in a world of hurt. He might have to submit right here. Orndorff, though, with the hip toss to escape the abdominal stretch. Low punch there. Big power slam. I don't think the ref saw that. He punched him south of the border. Garvin slow to get up, and good fireman carry takeover. I think Orndorff was looking for the pile driver right there. Ron Garvin trips him up and picks the leg. And now Garvin looking for the figure four. This might be all. If he locks it in, he's got it locked in on Paul Orndorff. Orndorff panicking. He might have to submit. That is Garvin's move. Orndorff trying to turn it over, and he does. And now the pain reverses to the legs of Ron Garvin, who's forced to break the hold. Orndorff first man to his feet, and a vicious clothesline. Takes down Ron Garvin. Might have knocked him out. 1. Can he hold him down? Yes, he can. Impressive win by Paul Orndorff in his debut in World Championship Wrestling. I think Garvin was stunned that Orndorff got out of the figure 4. And then Orndorff blindsided him with that vicious clothesline that knocked him out. Your winner, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. And fans, I understand Orndorff will be part of the Lethal Lottery. So will Ron Garvin. Great matchup here on World Championship Wrestling. We're not done. More action still to come.
Here is your winner, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
It is time now for tag team action. Ron Simmons and Sam Houston taking on Larry Zbyszko and a mystery partner.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 496 pounds, Sam Houston and the All-American Ron Simmons.
This team was the first U.S. Tag Team Champions. They won that inaugural tournament earlier this year. And Larry Zbyszko coming out first, alone.
And their opponents, first, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 233 pounds, the Living Legend.
Does Zbyszko even have a partner? We're about to find out. He looks rather confident, shaking the head. A smug look on the face of the Living Legend. Medusa not here in Atlanta this evening. Medusa is his manager. Has she recruited another member to her stable? I don't know. That is just sheer speculation on my part. Who is this mystery partner? We're about to find out if it's any. Someone's coming out. It is Ravishing Rick Rude. Rick Rude in World Championship Wrestling.
And his partner from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, weighing in at 250 pounds, Ravishing Rick Rude.
Fans booing, fans stunned at the arrival of Ravishing Rick Rude in World Championship Wrestling. He will team with Larry Zbyszko this evening to take on Ron Simmons and Sam Houston. Springs over the top rope. He's in great, tremendous shape. Great physical condition that describes Ravishing Rick Rude. Sam Houston will start things out against the Living Legend. He wants Zbyszko. Zbyszko taunting him here before the bell even rings. 15-minute time limit. Big elbow right to the jaw. And Sam Houston wasting no time taking down the Living Legend. They will square off next week in singles action, but tonight they are going at it in tag team action. They wrestled to a time limit draw. Cover here by Sam. And a kick out by the Living Legend. Head scissors. Elbow to the top of the head. Coming up next, fans, our main event. Baron von Raschke, the Clawmaster, challenging Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, for the World Television title. Knee to the midsection. Zbyszko now picks up Sam. Picked him up by the trunks. Sets him on the top rope, now just yanking him off. and drives him face first to the mat. Brutal maneuver there by the living legend. And Zbyszko trying to keep Sam from making the tag, and he does. He'll drag him back to the corner. Tag made to Ravishing Rick Rude. We'll see him for the first time now in singles action here in World Championship Wrestling. Picks him up. Beautiful backbreaker. Rude measures him. Cocks the elbow and drives it down to the chest. Arrogant move there by that Ravishing one. And now Rude putting the boots to young Sam Houston. Sam Houston and Ron Simmons did not prepare for Ravishing Rick Rude. They had no idea who the partner might be. Sam Houston breaks free. Running knee drop right to the midsection. And now Houston snaps the leg. Tag made to the All-American. Ron Simmons measures him. Leaping elbow drop. Simmons straddles him. Big left hands. Kicked him right in the midsection. And a beautiful neck breaker onto Rick Rude. Devastating move. That is a move that Rick Rude uses. He calls it the Rude Awakening. Ron Simmons giving him a taste of his own medicine as he now applies the camel clutch, working on the neck of Rick Rude. Rude slips free. From behind now, the Ravishing one has him up. Beautiful back suplex as we approach the 12-minute mark here in the time limit. Tag made to the living legend. Big right hand, a low kick there right to the knee though. And Zbyszko with a snap suplex. Kick to the neck. Zbyszko now dragging Simmons to the middle of the ring, measures him, and snaps the head down. Turns him over. Zbyszko now. Again, turns him back over. What's he going to do with him? He is thought he was going for a single leg Boston Crab, but instead snaps the leg down, trying to shatter the kneecap. And once again, targeting the leg. Stomps the arm. He is working over Ron Simmons, but Simmons now battling back. Takes down Larry Zbyszko, races over and makes the tag to Sam Houston. Houston tagged in, head of steam. A monkey flip by the youngster. And now it's again the two men who started it off, Sam Houston and Larry Zbyszko. Great maneuver there by Houston. Zbyszko gets up quickly. Face first goes Larry to the mat. And now Sam Houston applying the camel clutch. Zbyszko gets to the ropes and the referee calls for the break. Into the corner goes Larry, charging in is Sam. Larry moved out of the way, and Houston hit face first into the turnbuckle. Tag made to Ravishing Rick Rude, double team coming up. Ron Simmons trying to break it up. He got there too late. And a good drop toe hold and elbow drop combination from Zbyszko and Rude. Great maneuver there by Rude. As we approach the 10-minute time limit. 10 minutes remain in the time limit. Stomps the arm. Rude again. Cover here. First pinfall attempt of the match, I believe. And it is broken up by Ron Simmons. Hope your summer was great. Hard to believe that we're wrapping it up Monday. Monday, the first day of fall. Rude off the top rope. Drives the fist down on the forehead of Ron Simmons. And a drop kick by Sam Houston onto Larry Zbyszko. And Rude back in the ring. Good monkey flip there by Sam Houston. Hope you have a great autumn, a great fall season. It's my favorite time of the year. Beautiful hip toss there by Sam Houston. Houston rolls him up. Can he hold him down? Rude kicks out. He was in the ropes anyway, according to the referee. Beautiful drop kick. No one does that better than Sam Houston, in my opinion. Great move there by Houston. Houston now. He wants Larry Zbyszko again. Drop kicked him off the apron. And Houston going up top. Flying fist drop. He connected with Larry Zbyszko. Tempers boiling now. Sends Zbyszko into the steel barricade. Here comes Rude from behind. And Rude takes down Sam Houston. Ron Simmons coming over. One-handed bulldog. It is really breaking down now. Referee needs to restore some order. Sam Houston throws Rude back in the ring. Houston on the top rope. Flying splash. The body splash off the top. 1, 2, and Zbyszko makes the save. Ron Simmons got there late. We've got all 4 men in the ring. Sam Houston pounding away on Zbyszko, but Zbyszko, relentless, kept wailing on Ron Simmons. Single leg Boston crab applied by young Sam Houston, trying to spoil the debut of ravishing Rick Rude. But Rude with a kick, and he kicks him free. Could Rick Rude be under the guidance now of Medusa? We know Larry Zbyszko is. Medusa, the manager of Zbyszko. Is she also the manager of Rude? Good moves there by ravishing Rick Rude. Waist lock. Beautiful side suplex. Lateral press. 1, 2. A 1 count only, actually. Referee did not make it down to the 2. To the 2 count. Military press here by Rude. Slams him down. 7 minutes left in the time limit. Houston trying to crawl over and make the tag. Can he get there? No, he's going to the middle rope. And Rude just socked him right in the gut. And he dropped. Throws him up and over the top rope. And Rude flexing for the fans. Look out for Ron Simmons. Rude, aware of the distraction now, on the top rope. Off the top, double axe handle on young Sam Houston. And I think I saw blood splash off the forehead, yes indeed, of Sam Houston. He has been busted open. Rude dragging Houston. Down goes the referee. Big shoulder tackle by Simmons. He leveled Rick Rude. And now both legal men are down. I don't think Bill Scott knows why hit him. Rude, the first man to his feet. Sam Houston follows. Both men winded. Rude trying to get to his feet, and he does. He kicked him right in the neck. Now cranking the neck. Rude might be thinking about that rude awakening. He might apply it on Sam Houston. Picks him up. He's going for the pile driver. Can he get him up? He planted him. He rocked him with it. But Rude not going for the cover. He wants to dish out more punishment on young Sam Houston. Again, cranking the neck. A lot of damage sustained to the neck of Sam Houston. Rude might be going for the rude awakening. He is. Can he land it? He executes it. Yes, he does. And Rude not going for the cover. What is he thinking here? I think he was worried about Ron Simmons charging in. But now Rude drags Sam Houston toward the ropes. Makes the cover. Referee, feet on the ropes. But Ron Simmons makes the save. Rick Rude put his feet on the ropes for added leverage. And Rude now continues the onslaught on Sam Houston. He's just working this youngster over. Stomps the bicep. And Rude now picks him up as Sam Houston with a jawbreaker. Desperation move. He needs to make the tag. But Rude stays on him and drills him with a forearm shot to the bloody forehead. Now just bouncing the head of Sam Houston off the mat. Measures him again. That cocky elbow lands it down on young Sam Houston. And I think they just want to hurt this guy. They want to put him out of wrestling. Ravishing Rick Rude, fleeing from Ron Simmons, but cannot get away as Ron Simmons jacks his jaw with a right hand. Larry Zbyszko up on the apron. He's knocked down. And referee Bill Scott warns Ron Simmons to get back to his corner. Sam Houston going up top. High risk move. He is grimacing, favoring the neck. 3.5 minutes remaining in the time limit. Sam Houston going for the Bulldog on the floor. He's got to get him back in the ring. I think Rhodes is the legal man. I've lost track. A Bulldog none. Larry Zbyszko, and Zbyszko hit that bottom step. Referee counting them both out. Sam Houston perched on top, thinks better of it. He's gonna take the count out win. He'll make the tag to Ron Simmons. Smart move. Flying shoulder tackle there by the All-American, and a cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, and Rhodes just kicked out. Larry was slow to get in to help his partner, and Ron's gonna help him in the hard way. Pounds his way in. And referee warning Sam Houston not to come in the ring. Simmons now. Look at the strength of Ron Simmons' military press, pressing him over his head and slamming him down. Simmons pounds the chest and flexes. Front face lock. Simmons. Submission hold here. STF. Drives him down. Rhodes in trouble. Rhodes in trouble. He might give up right here. Larry Zbyszko panicking, racing in. He knows he needs to help his partner. But Rhodes using the elbow, and he'll break free. 2 minutes left in the time limit. Front face lock by Ron. Ron, can he hoist him up? Rhodes tries to block it. Simmons gets him up in the second effort. And Rhodes makes the tag, a much-needed tag. And tag made to Sam Houston. We've got the two originals back in the ring. The guys who started this one. And they will go at it man-to-man next week at the Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. Houston wasting time here, trying to catch his breath. Right hand there by Houston. Waist lock. And a beautiful takedown on the living legend. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the time limit. This one might go to a time limit draw. Knee to the back of the head. Houston's got to work fast here. Trying to force a submission, but there's ravishing Rick Rude. Referee checking in. He warns Rick Rude not to come in the ring. Less than a minute to go. I think the time limit's going to expire in this one. Picks him up and slams him down. 50 seconds remain. Zbyszko did not go for the cover. Not a smart move by a man who's normally on top of the game. Off the ropes now, Zbyszko. Beautiful drop kick. Needs to make the cover. Sam Houston needs to make a tag. 30 seconds left. Zbyszko's got to work fast. He might be going for the brainbuster. He's got Sam now. What's he going to do with him? Dumps him out on the apron. 20 seconds left. He is just trying to injure this man. He's trying to end his career. Simmons coming in. A little bit late, though. There's a pile driver on the floor. Might have broken his neck. Might have broken his neck. Simmons checking on his partner. It's going to be a time limit draw. We'll be right back. I hope Sam Houston's okay. He's being checked by our medical team as we speak.
Scheduled for one fall, and is for the World Television Championship.
It was slated to be Sam Houston against Larry Zbyszko next week, but can Sam Houston even wrestle? He took a lot of damage to the neck early on from the rude awakening and the pile driver, and then at last pile driver onto the floor from the apron by Larry Zbyszko might have ended Sam Houston's career. Thoughts and prayers definitely with him. Meanwhile, it's our main event time. Baron von Raschke with number 1 Paul Jones. Raschke challenging for the World Television title. One of the earliest feuds in World Championship Wrestling pitted Baron von Raschke against Dusty Rhodes. Ultimately, that was won by Dusty Rhodes, but Baron von Raschke is not forgotten. And now that Rhodes is a champion, Raschke was quick to sign on the dotted line for a title match. And he's getting it this evening. What a matchup this should be. Fans, a quick rundown once more of the Clash of the Champions 5 Fall Brawl. Next Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be World Champion Magnum TA putting the title on the line against Tully Blanchard. The World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, taking on the Long Riders. U.S. Champion Sting to face Barry Windham. U.S. Tag Team Champions Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner to face the Midnight Express. And card subject to change here, but Larry Zbyszko set to do battle with Sam Houston. That is if Houston is able to wrestle next week. Hopefully we can have an update on the condition of Houston before we go off the air. Fans awaiting the arrival of the World Television Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And he makes his way to the ring. What an ovation for the American Dream. Thank you again for joining us for another night of World Championship Wrestling. Hope you've enjoyed the program. Don't forget to stay with us. After the conclusion of this matchup, we're going to show you all 60 entrants in the Lethal Lottery, which will begin on Wednesday, October the 1st. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Introducing the challenger from Germany, weighing in at 281 pounds, Baron. Introducing the champion from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 270 pounds, he is the World Television Champion, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
What a matchup this should be. 15-minute time limit in this one. We will stay with you to bring you the conclusion of this matchup, to bring you this match in its entirety. Referee is Bill Scott. These two men, no strangers to one another. They've had many matches already here in World Championship Wrestling. And Baron just taunting Dusty. That's not a good thing to do. One-handed bulldog there by the American Dream. Rhodes with a beautiful suplex. Great maneuver there by the American Dream. He has implemented a lot of new moves into his repertoire, but the Baron does not care. He's going to hoist the big man up, and beautiful suplex takes down the champion. The champion now in trouble as Raschke rakes the eyes. Wearing down Dusty Rhodes, trying to choke him down. And Rhodes falls face first to the mat. Baron Raschke turns him over, looking for a win. Does not even get a 1 count. That wouldn't have counted in amateur wrestling. Beautiful knee to the lower back. Stomps the lower back again and applies a vicious camel clutch. Rhodes trapped in the middle of the ring, but Rhodes quick to get out. Rhodes knows the longer he's in that hold, the more it's going to damage the back and the neck. But Rhodes quickly escaped. Big left there by the American Dream. Rhodes has him up. Cracks the knee. Paul Jones looking to gain another title. Or gain a first title, I should say, here in the Paul Jones's Army. They had titles not too long ago. They held the U.S. title and the U.S. tag titles. In fact, that man right there, Baron von Raschke, held the U.S. tag title with Ivan Koloff. Before they lost those to Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. And of course, Sting knocked off Nikita Koloff to capture the U.S. title. 13 minutes left in the time limit. Rhodes picks him up. Going for the pile driver. Can he get him up? Yes, he can. Devastating move. And Rhodes dragging Baron toward the middle of the ring. Cover. Leg hooked. A 1 count. Not even a 1 count. Another kick there by Dusty. Both men collide before Dusty takes him down. Dusty just ran him over. And the champion now picks him up. Baron catches a leg. Good elbow. And Raschke now scoops him up. Backbreaker. And a cover. A kick out by Rhodes. Referee Bill Scott said the foot was under the bottom rope. I'm not so sure it was. But regardless, Rhodes kicked out. Again, Bill Scott saying he's in the ropes. Raschke looking frustrated. Another strong suplex there by the Baron. Fans sensing a title change here this evening. The Clawmaster would love to dethrone Dusty Rhodes here this evening in Atlanta, Georgia. But Rhodes attacks the knee. Taps the elbow. Is going to land the bionic elbow now. He uses the other elbow on the leg of Baron von Raschke. Dusty will use that figure four to finish off an opponent as well. And he has been working on the legs of Raschke in this matchup. Beautiful move there by Rhodes, the World Television Champion. Great block there by Baron. Big side slam out of nowhere. He caught the champion by surprise. Now Raschke just walking all over Rhodes. And he'll walk right back over again. The air just gushing out of Dusty Rhodes. Swift kick to the throat. Rhodes on the mat. Raschke front face lock. Wraps him up here. Waist lock. A full Nelson, but squeezing the sides of the head. A la Crush. And Rhodes in trouble. Can Rhodes break free? Yes, he can, using that tremendous strength. Good block by Baron at a right hand. Another block by Rhodes, claps the ears. And the one-handed Bulldog for the second time takes down Baron von Raschke. Measures him, drives the elbow to the top of the head. And the Clawmaster now in trouble. Baron reeling. Rhodes uses him as a punching bag. Down goes the Baron. And a cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2, that might be all. Near fall. Baron just kicked out. Dusty thought it should have been 3. And Rhodes measuring him. He's looking for the bionic elbow, but a good block there by the Baron. The Baron had it well scouted. And Baron tying him up in the ropes. He pulled him to where his eye hit that top rope. And now the Baron looking for the claw. If he lands it, we got a new TV champion. We're going to have a new TV champion right here. But the referee called for the break. Look at Baron. He's furious. He is going after Bill Scott. Went for the right hand. Scott moved out of the way. Bill Scott, quick on his feet. 1. A 1 count only. If Baron had hit the referee, that would have been the end of the match. He would have been disqualified. So he's fortunate that he didn't land it. And that Bill Scott did not use the discretion to disqualify him. Right there. Pole ram. Shoulder first into the steel. Went Baron von Raschke. And now Rhodes back in command. Yanks him out of the corner. Good kick there to the chest. And a cover. Hooks the leg. A 1 count. Baron kicks out. Great matchup here for the World Television title. Rhodes throws him. Baron went leaping over the top rope. Rhodes going to help him back in the hard way with a suplex. Devastating move. And Dusty again measures him. Elbow. Might have knocked Baron out right there. Armbar. Drives Baron down. And Baron's slow here to get up. Dusty's going to drag him to the middle of the ring. That beautiful suplex once more, and Baron rolls to the outside. Paul Jones screaming at him to get back in the ring. Here comes Dusty out. Baron's ready for him. Throws him hard, shoulder first into those steel steps, and Dusty collapses. And down again goes Dusty Rhodes, the World Television Champion. Up and over the barricade went Dusty after Baron raked his eyes. But Dusty coming back in. He is furious. Look out, Baron. But Baron's ready for him. Can he get him up? He's got the big man up. Full extension with a power bomb. And now Baron tying up Rhodes' legs. He has twisted him into a pretzel here. Holding him up. He's looking for the win. Can Dusty get out of this? Dusty's in trouble. He can't grab the ropes to break the hold. Can he get out somehow? He is wrapped up. Rhodes using the weight advantage to kind of anchor himself and drop to the mat. And that yanked on the arms of Baron and forced him to break the hold. Good escape there by Dusty Rhodes using the size advantage to get out of that submission hold. And now the TV champion takes down Baron von Raschke, pounding away on the head of the Baron. A boot right between the eyes. And Dusty measures him. Big elbow. He planted him, turns him over. Rhodes sensing victory right here. Middle of the ring, hooks the leg. A 1 count is all he gets. 6:05 left in the time limit. Chin lock here by Rhodes. Raschke gets to his feet. Drives the elbow to the midsection. And again. We're going to stay with you, fans. I think we've been with you for an hour and 20 minutes already, but we're going to stay longer. We'll bring you the conclusion of the match and also the entrance for Lethal Lottery. And there's a claw. This time in the middle of the ring. We're going to crown a new champion right here. Referee's checking in. Rhodes is fading. Rhodes is fading. Fans roaring. They want Rhodes to get out of it. Can Dusty get out? Baron's got it locked in. But Dusty trying to fight his way free. He will. Dusty got out. Dusty got out. Into the corner. Charging in. Big splash by Rhodes. And now it's Rhodes measuring Raschke. 5 minutes left in the time limit. The bionic elbow. There it is. He rocked him. Cover. Hooks the leg. 1. Can he hold him down? Yes, he can. And Rhodes retains. Hard-fought victory for the American Dream. He escaped the claw twice. The first was because he was close to the ropes. But the second time, he had to work his way out of it and not submit. And that is what Rhodes did here this evening. Tremendous win by the World Television Champion. And fans, that's Arn Anderson. Anderson's hit the ring. Anderson's hit the ring. He took down the champion. Rhodes being pounded on here, being stomped. Arn Anderson's returned to World Championship Wrestling. And he is yelling he wants his belt back. He wants his belt back. He is taking it to the American Dream. Magnum TA is not in the building. No help for Dusty Rhodes. And apparently Anderson has recovered from his injury. Drops the Dream. And Rhodes has just wrestled a match. He is taking... Rhodes fighting back. Rhodes fighting back. Wyatt Hart from the World Television Champion. DDT. He rocked Anderson. He rocked Double A. And now Double A probably regretting coming to the ring. Anderson catches him. Clothesline. Anderson said no more. He's leaving the ring. Here are the entrants for the WCW Lethal Lottery event. We have Nikita Koloff, Stan Lane, Dutch Mantell, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Ricky Morton, Manny Fernandez, Jimmy Garvin, Ron Garvin, Robert Gibson, Magnum TA, The Great Muta, Baron von Raschke, Dusty Rhodes, Tommy Rich, Warlord, Junkyard Dog, Kerry Von Erich, Kevin Sullivan, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, Stan Hansen, Tully Blanchard, Brad Armstrong, The Barbarian, Black Bart, Eddie Gilbert, Sam Houston, Wild Bill Irwin, The Italian Stallion, and Ivan Koloff, Tito Santana, Tom Zink, The Z-Man, Animal, Hawk, Bill Kazmaier, Brian Pillman, Butch Reed, Ron Simmons, Michael Hayes, Cactus Jack, Sid Vicious, Dan Spivey, Firebreaker Chip, Todd Champion, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Larry Zbyszko, Arn Anderson, Rick Rude, Ric Flair, Greg Valentine, Paul Orndorff, Rick Martel, Ricky Steamboat, Sting, Lex Luger, Vader, Barry Windham, Steve Williams, Terry Gordy, and one other mystery entrant. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday, October the 1st. for the first pairings, the first drawing in the Lethal Lottery. That will do it for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next week for Fall Brawl.